Blood sprays, heads roll, and limbs fly. Today we're diving headfirst into the sticky, screaming world of B-movie splatter classics. The blood-soaked gems that defined low-budget horror with pure, unfiltered carnage. These aren't just gross, they're glorious. Before Sam Raimi was swinging Spider-Man through New York, he was swinging cameras through the woods of Tennessee, on a shoestring budget and a ton of fake blood. The Evil Dead isn't just a horror classic, it's a blueprint for low-budget genius. 5 friends head to a remote cabin and accidentally unleash ancient demons from the Necronomicon. What follows? Possessions, dismemberments, and more bodily fluids than a human body should hold. It's raw, relentless, and unhinged, held together by innovative camera work, brutal practical effects, and Bruce Campbell's gloriously over-the-top reactions. This movie didn't just splatter blood, it launched a cult phenomenon. You've never seen a movie like Street Trash, and maybe that's a good thing. Set in a grimy junkyard populated by derelicts and degenerates, the story kicks off when a batch of toxic booze called Tenafly Viper starts melting the homeless into Technicolor sludge. It's gory, yes, but also weirdly artistic. Imagine Return of the Living Dead meets an acid trip, directed by someone who hates good taste.
Here's to you, pussy.
What really sets Street Trash apart is the tone. It's dark, disgusting, and completely irreverent, swinging between gross-out comedy and outright social satire. Also, it features the most jaw-dropping use of a severed appendage you'll ever see. You'll know when you see it. This one's not for everyone, but for splatter fans, it's liquid gold.
Damn fine custard.
Before he brought hobbits to Mount Doom, Peter Jackson brought gore to a whole new level. Dead Alive, or Braindead if you're in New Zealand, is often held as the bloodiest movie ever made. And that's not an exaggeration.
Party's over.
By the finale, it's less a movie and more a slip and slide made of viscera. The story follows a timid mama's boy whose overbearing mother is bitten by a Sumatran rat monkey. She dies and comes back hungry, and it only gets messier from there. We're talking kung fu priests.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Zombie babies, digestive destruction, and a lawnmower put to very creative use. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's absolutely soaked in red. If you've ever wanted a romantic comedy drenched in gore, this is it.
You killed him. No, I did not. I gave him life.
Based very loosely on an H.P. Lovecraft story, Re-Animator is what happens when you mix mad science with midnight movie madness and inject it straight into the brain. Jeffrey Combs stars as Herbert West, a medical student obsessed with conquering death. His glowing green serum brings corpses back to life, but they don't come back happy. The result, a gruesome parade of exploding eyeballs, twitching limbs, and one very unforgettable encounter involving a severed head. Re-Animator is bold, brilliant schlock, equal parts body horror, black comedy, and brilliant camp. The performances are insane, the effects are gross in all the right ways, and the pacing never lets up. If Frankenstein was directed by a sleep-deprived maniac with a latex fetish and a gallon of stage blood, you'd get Re-Animator. Lucio Fulci's The Beyond isn't so much a movie as it is a waking nightmare. The plot, what little of it there is, follows a woman who inherits a creepy hotel in Louisiana, only to discover it sits on one of the 7 gateways to hell. From there, logic takes a backseat to atmosphere. Eyes are gouged, faces dissolve in acid, zombies show up for no reason, and there's a tarantula scene that'll haunt your dreams forever. But the beyond isn't about making sense. It's about evoking dread, despair, and awe. It's beautiful and brutal, surreal and splattery, like a haunted painting dripping with blood. Fulci didn't just want to scare you, he wanted to unsettle you. Mission accomplished. It's exactly what you think it is, proudly proclaims the tagline for Pieces. This Spanish-American slasher kicks off with a little boy his mother with an axe, and somehow escalates from there. Fast forward a few decades, and there's a chainsaw-wielding killer loose on a college campus. The acting, awful. The dubbing, hilarious. The gore, spectacular. Heads roll, limbs fly, and there's even a random kung fu fight thrown in for absolutely no reason. But that's what makes Pieces special. It doesn't follow rules, it just follows blood trails. It's sleazy, nonsensical, and shockingly entertaining. In other words, a splatter classic. You thought superheroes were clean cut? Meet Toxic, the mutated, mop-wielding janitor of justice. The Toxic Avenger is Troma's crown jewel, a radioactive revenge fantasy where a bullied nerd falls into a vat of toxic waste and transforms into a deformed, muscle-bound monster who dishes out ultra-violent karma. We're talking exploding heads, deep-fried villains, and more mop kills than any movie before or since. But underneath the ooze and guts is a strange kind of charm. Toxic may look like a monster, but he's got a heart of gold and a thirst for justice. Plus, the movie balances grotesque gore with slapstick comedy, cartoon sound effects, and some of the most unhinged characters ever put to film.
She's stressing me, Slug! Julie is stressing me, Slug! I can't take it! I cannot take this, Slug!
It's gory, goofy, and gloriously gross. And somehow, it even spawned a kids' cartoon. You've probably never heard of Premutos, but Splatter fans whisper its name with reverence. This German Gorefest, directed by Olaf Ittenbach, is like someone watched Evil Dead, Dead Alive, and every backyard zombie flick, then said, what if we added more blood and a tank? The plot involves an ancient fallen angel and a cursed book. But let's be honest, you're here for the carnage, and Premutos delivers. We're talking dozens of zombies getting mowed down with chainsaws, shotguns, garden tools, you name it. Heads explode, limbs detach, and the finale turns into a full-blown war zone inside a suburban home. It's messy, excessive, and completely off the rails in the best way. You haven't seen Splatter until you've seen Premutos. B-movie Splatter isn't about polish, it's about passion and intestines. Got a favorite Gorefest that I missed? Drop it in the comments before the cleanup crew arrives. And until next time, keep it bloody.